formally introduce myself. I'm Brad Alabon, President of Chamber of Commerce, and I reside at 262 Canary Drive, which is 100 yards within the city limits of this community. The last 7 days have been pretty busy. This time last week we had an opportunity to host Speaker of the Tennessee House of Representatives, Beth Harwell, as our annual dinner speaker. And fortunately we had about an hour's time to sit and visit with the speaker and talk about what we were doing in our community. And what we shared was the idea that as a community we're working together. The city, the county, the chamber are in partnership, which we call Horizon. And where we wanted to go, we suggested that what we were doing was a model for all Tennessee communities that are rural and looking for development opportunities and faced with scarce resources. And the feedback I've had from that visit is that it went very well. So we're going to continue to tell the story of Crossville, Cumberland County every chance we get. And earlier this week, on Monday and Tuesday, we had the opportunity to have the state's Tennessee Property Evaluation Program, which I have just given you a copy of an outline that came out of that 2-day visit. And again, the state of Tennessee offered this for the first time this year. And we were in the first round of communities selected, one of 6 in the state of Tennessee, to go through a process, a review process by a professional consulting firm called Austin Consulting, which is actually based in Cleveland but has 6 offices around the country, and one of their branches is in Mexico. What we wanted to find out was, from a professional standpoint that is involved in site selection for corporations, how do we look? How do we look to the people that are out there looking for a place to land an industry? Austin really specializes in companies that are between 100 and 300 employees, which is a pretty good fit for Crossville, Tennessee. This is an overview of those 2 days. But what I'd like to tell you is that this is not the final report. The final report we will actually get in mid-January. But I want to call your attention, I'm going to give you a few highlights of those 2 days. Page number 11. The consultant shared with us the elements of a successful economic development program would have a public-private leadership, I'll add, in partnership with well-defined community vision. Establish economic development process, adequately funded and supported by the community. Focus on the assets and capacity building on those elements that you see, community, real estate, and culture. And 4, staying power. It's a marathon, not a sprint. The highlights and the comments of the consultant I'll share with you tonight, and you'll see more of this in the final report. Very impressed with the properties that we have in Crossville, Tennessee. Spoke highly of the Interchange Business Park. Spoke highly of other properties, Marietta, and some new ones that we're taking a look at, the Swallows property. But we're well positioned, and I want to point this out to you, well positioned with properties that have adequate infrastructure to the site and major acreage right beside an interstate. Not every community has that. A lot of communities out there that are rural would kill to have I-40 right beside, within 3 minutes about every site we offer. That's big, and that's huge. He commented on that several times. He looked at the community assets and talked very favorably of the Palace Theater, the Playhouse, and other amenities that we can offer to the community. From this workshop, we will see a final report, and I'm going to ask that we do something that's a little different in the process and provide community comment and input into what's in this report, what we see, and how we can build upon those resources. It's very clear that while we do have some building space, a lot of that is being occupied. So the question is how can we go the steps further to be development ready? What kind of companies are looking at us? And we have an inventory of the last 2.5 years of the companies that are prospects that have looked at Crossville, Tennessee. You know what they're looking for. And on the average, they're looking for buildings or building prep that would put us in the range of 100,000 square feet, all utilities available. And companies are talking about employing 100 to 300 people. But when I came to you and asked for additional funding, I asked for us to go beyond the state's prospect leads and look for our own leads. What companies do our resources match up well with companies that might be in expansion mode? We're in a pretty good spot. I'm very excited about where we are. I think we still have work to do, but it's looking to me to be very favorable. We will send you this report electronically if you would like to have it. We're going to offer it also next Monday night to the County Commission. The Joint Economic Development Community Board, 3-star committee, really were the ones that started the process. They caused us to apply. So we're going to take that to their meeting this month, now on November 30th, and ask for their input and additional guidance. So with that, I'll stop and see if you have any questions. Well, I do want to say one thing, and I don't think that city employees hear this enough. We had the chance, it would seem to probably be a week for them, but it was only a couple days for us, to work with the staff at the engineering department. And I just want to say that Tim Bagley and his staff are all-stars. They gave their time. They came in on their vacation. And what they did was pointed out to me by the consultant to be outstanding, exemplary work. And for that, I'm very thankful.
Thank you. I agree.